Tonight on the Elk Season Podcast.
We got lots of bears, trail cams with elk on them. So important stuff there. And I'm pretty sure the universe is conspiring against my elk season this year.
That's coming up tonight on the Elk Season Podcast. This is the Elk Season Podcast, dedicated to archery elk, the greatest outdoor sport in North America. Welcome to the Elk Season Podcast, the Season 2, Episode 23. Today is August 10th. Sorry, it's August 10th, right?
You already trying to put us past the season.
It's August 10th, 2023. I'm so excited. It's only 19 days until Elk Season.
19.
Anyway, so here we go. What are we talking about?
Well,
no. So have you had a chance to go through any more of the trail cam footage that I gave you? I gave you all those files.
Yeah, so I started going through them. It's all video, and I didn't realize that. And so it's going to take a while to get through it all.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Because I wonder how many of those, because there seems to be a lot of videos that were just triggered for nothing.
In July, the grass gets really tall and then triggers that motion sensor.
But there was a couple videos at the and I should have marked them. I didn't.
Yeah.
There was a couple of videos, and you'll know what I'm talking about because
Okay.
I'm sure you've seen them. There were a couple of videos at the Wallow.
Okay.
That first Wallow.
Yeah.
And I believe it was the Wallow. It might not have been. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with that place, but the elk are there, and they're like bouncing in and out of the water, splashing like children, running around, and it's like.
Yeah.
It's anthropomorphizing heaven.
Yeah.
As you're watching, because you're like, well, that one's curious about his reflection and keeps stomping the water. The other ones are running around like they're just giddy about the grass they just ate.
Yeah.
And it's just really cool to watch them in that natural, playful state.
I don't know what silly nature documentary I was watching when I heard all adolescent mammals learn by play.
Huh.
All adolescent mammals learn by play. So I've always thought that such a wonderful reason to play.
Yeah.
And we really learn a lot by playing. And we play lots of games and stuff at the gym to learn different movements. Anyway, okay. So I've watched some YouTube. There's a Brian Call is a YouTuber.
Okay.
And he produces a series called Gritty. It's called Brian Call : Gritty.
Okay.
Yeah. Gritty. It is all 4K. It is some of the best produced hunting media on YouTube. It is absolutely incredible. And they go in deep. I watched a particular episode. They went in for bear on a Baku bike.
Okay.
Well, and they can only go so far. A bike can only get them so far. And like, all right, ditch the bike, set up the solar charger, and then we hike from here. And they use that. They use like the Baku to get him into a spot where they can. It's like a radial spot. They can go. We can hunt here, get bear meat back to the bike. That's the big deal because those bikes have trailers, a single wheel trailer.
Okay.
So that a single track. That can follow, and I've seen those trailers before that can hold 70 pounds.
Oh, okay.
And which is a hefty amount, a really good amount.
Yeah.
And so it was a really, really good episode, and not so much that they killed a bear, but some of the pop-ups that they do, right? They give you they just take a picture of a bird. Hey, this is this type of bird, and there's another kind in this area that is a different color that just has that different name. It's a yellow one instead of a red one. And then they have other pop-ups that really help me understand because I'm really trying to understand fall bear hunting. Because I'm really hooked on these cameras. I really like these cameras, and I want to put. So now I have more cameras, and I have more cameras in my shopping basket.
Yeah.
and I want to get cameras on bears.
Yeah.
And I would like to take a bear someday, but I would love cameras on bears. And so I want to learn more about bears. And this was very, very informative on what, you need to look on the north facing slope that still has a lot of fresh water and fresh berries.
Yeah.
And they're saying that a year that is good for berries is good for bears.
Okay. Makes me wonder about this year.
And I think this year is a good year for berries because it's just been so lush. It's been very wet and it hasn't been cooked.
Yeah.
It hasn't been cooked up by the sun. So it has been warm. We've had a good summer, but it has been over the top, and we've had a lot of good moisture late.
Even recently.
Yeah.
It was.
So I'm very hopeful for bears, and so I've been scouting our elk spot on Google Earth because you just have to cover a lot of territory with bears. You need to be able to glass.
Yeah.
So I've picked a few spots out.
We've seen a couple bears up there.
We have.
I almost stepped on one. I didn't see the one that you spotted that one day.
Oh, it was just moving fast, and it didn't look that big.
Yeah.
It's funny how you can tell sort of the size of a bear in binocular. There's nothing really to compare it to.
Yeah.
But you can be like, oh, that was a big one. And,
Sure.
oh, that wasn't very big at all.
But what we have learned is you cannot tell the size of a bear if all you can see is its face.
True. So, yeah, the one we saw in Montana together,
That was
so small.
That was
so small.
But the one that we saw in the other hunting area, that was coming down to camp, and we're like, well, that's a small bear. It's not very big. Let's get out our cameras. Let's turn into tourisms here, and it was huge.
Yeah, I could see his. You could see his face. Wait, I gotta find that footage.
Yeah,
it's on some broken hard drive somewhere.
Yeah, my footage is horrible. You like locked in on this bear on your camera, and I'm trying to figure out where it's at.
Yeah.
And I find it, so I pull up my viewfinder, and then I can't find it. It was just I had a horrible time with that. But
I really like, the best optics I had for a long time was the camera.
Yeah.
And I really liked using it. The binoculars now are obviously, and I've only had the binoculars for like 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
which is it's so shameful of me, but. And I got the binoculars the same year I got the spotting scope.
Oh, yeah.
And I because I like the spotting scope because I want video, I want pictures. And maybe that's why I wanted the video camera, is because I don't just want to see it. I want to look at it again later. Right?
Yeah.
So
phone scoping has been my thing with optics whenever I can.
Yeah, it's that phone scoping is fun, man. When we watch those mule deer in cycle, in their rut. Oh my gosh, that was so cool.
In other news related to the upcoming season, this is about me.
Yes,
I went to a doctor on Monday. And confirmed an inguinal hernia.
Oh no!
And so I say, Doc,
What is that?
Well, it's down in the groin. It felt like I had a sore muscle coming out when we hiked to retrieve or to place the cameras this year. We had Bram with us.
Okay.
And so on the way out, I'm like, wow, it hurts like I pulled muscle down there. And it kept getting worse and worse. And I kept doing hikes and I kept going camping. And so.
Right, because you're a dad.
It actually got to a point where I was like, if this is a muscle, it's acting weird. And then I could see something bulging. And so I was like, all right, I better go to a doc because it's starting to get worse.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what this means for my hunting.
Okay. What would you ask the doctor?
I'd ask the doctor, I go, hey, I plan to go, backpacking or hiking elk hunting.
Can I just wear really tight underwear?
Yeah. Vesa found a girdle.
Yeah.
That I won't describe what we would imagine what it would look like around your, anyway.
Well, hold your guts in while we're hunting and we're.
But I had a scan yesterday that didn't find anything, which was bizarre. So I went and had, what do they call it? An ultrasound. And I saw the notes from the doctor that reviewed those today, and there's like no hernia. Everything looks fine. I'm like, something's up. So it turns out it's when you Google, hey, my doctor says this, but my scan said that. It's very. I guess there are situations where a hernia can exist but can't be seen. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure there's something there. Yeah. Because there's something sloshing around on one side of my body that shouldn't be.
Okay.
So it's kind of, I don't know how to feel about it because I'm like, dang it. So I have a consultation tomorrow morning with surgery because it's going to require surgery.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll see.
So yeah, funny story. Dad had a hernia.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've told this story. It's not a great one, but he had a trip to DC to the Library of Congress coming up. And so he postponed surgery so he could take his trip.
Yeah.
And it was very funny. He goes, it's down here And he goes, "It feels like an extra testicle. Would you like to feel it?" And I go, like, "No, thanks, Dad.
No.
I got my own testicles." But yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
Anyway.
and my youngest son
Yeah.
had an inguinal hernia.
Oh, really?
We noticed it about 7 or 8 months of age.
Oh, wow.
And so they couldn't do anything about it till he was over a year.
Yeah.
So we have he had surgery just months after his first birthday.
Wow.
And
Wow.
we have a really cute picture of him in his little gown.
Okay.
But that's always hard with a young infant to go under. It's not something I hope any parent ever has to experience.
Yeah. Yeah. My daughter at 3 had to have a procedure on her heart
Oh,
where they went in through her femoral artery.
wow.
Yeah.
That's big.
They did not have a viewing room, but they let
No.
us into a room near where we could watch.
Yeah.
And it was tough. That was tough. But we're all here now. Everything's
Yeah.
good.
So
I'm heading to the family reunion tomorrow.
okay.
And my oldest sister, our oldest sister, texted me today. And it's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, well, dang it, I got a job and I gotta work tomorrow. So I'll be up tomorrow to see them. I know you can't make it.
Yeah.
And
I'll be. We have something else more local that we're doing just up the road a few hundred miles, but we're not camping. But
yeah, what are you doing again?
we're just going to Boise.
Oh, okay, okay,
We've done the camping already this summer.
yeah.
I wore the kids out.
Camping. I think there's a new song we can dedicate just for dads,
Yeah.
and it's AC/DC "Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap."
Okay.
That's dads.
Yeah.
That's just dads.
Sure.
Just yeah. What's the worst? Here you go. Dad'll do it. Yeah,
So.
it's thankless too. It's just this, and camping is the epitome of all that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, don't worry, Dad'll set it up. Yay, we get to play and camp. And I guess that's
We
the
do that
idea.
to ourselves,
Yes, I know.
Because like I was up there setting everything up, and I'm like, I could ask for help, but
Yeah.
I'm too stubborn. I want to do this. I just want to do it all.
Yeah. And yeah, it is part of the fun. And I did see a guy here in town, and he's got a fifth wheel, and it's a toy hauler.
Okay.
And
yeah.
you can see the big like piano hinge on on the bottom of it, so for it to fold down, and you can tell it's a toy hauler. And behind that, he's towing a boat.
Yeah.
And I just think, a lot of me is like, aren't we trying to get away from all these things?
Yeah.
And so I really enjoy the way we camp.
Yeah.
When we have a cabin tent, which is to me is fancy.
Yeah.
I mean, to us, it's fancy.
Yeah.
A cabin tent with cots is living it up. I mean, that's
But
Yeah.
so if I can just
Yes.
play devil's advocate to you here a little bit. You want to get away from all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yet we all bring our phones with movies downloaded.
yes, we do. Yes,
and
we do.
You're
How did we live without that?
and you're fantasizing about
Yeah.
having that internet capability when you get
you're
your
right.
truck.
Yeah,
So,
you're right. Connectivity. Yeah.
I guess to each their own is where I'm
Yeah,
at.
yeah, you're right. You're right. We draw our own lines in the sand. I just want you to know where mine are.
Currently.
That's what. Yeah, currently.
'Cause
Currently until
mine
they
always-
get something else.
Yeah, mine always scooch around too.
As much as we talked about, just Elk Season's a very guy thing. We talk about ChatGPT.
Yeah.
We talk about my Cybertruck sometimes, which still at least 2
Which,
years.
by the
out.
way, I don't know if I loaded it in the folder. It was
Yeah.
just to troll you. It's a picture of a Cybertruck parked next to a
Rivian.
Rivian.
Yeah.
You probably saw it.
I actually brought it to the podcast today.
So we were both trying to troll each other.
There was actually at a stoplight. The Rivian was behind the Cybertruck. Is the picture I have.
Oh, I got to see what I had now.
So anyway, have you heard of LK99?
LK99.
Yeah.
Do tell more.
LK99 is an element that was invented by a couple of Chinese researchers, Li and Kim. That's where the LK comes from. And they invented it in 1999. And it was a superconductor at room temperature. But they couldn't remake it. And they've spent the past 20 plus years trying to to make the results the same. And they've done it. They've published, and now it's up for peer review, and people are freaking out about it because a superconductor at room temperature is is free electricity. It's resistance-free electricity.
Interesting.
Superconductor. It is.
When was this released?
A week ago, 2 weeks ago.
This isn't.
Yeah.
Sorry, because my brain cross-contaminated with
Yeah.
with the fusion. Is this the fusion thing?
No.
Okay.
No.
Is
This is a new substance. You know, like and I'm sure if everything works out and these guys win a prize, the Nobel Prize, like the guys who did nanocarbon fiber.
Yeah.
They won a Nobel Prize for that
Okay.
material. This would be the same type of material that they've invented that can conduct superconduct with at room temperature.
Wow.
Yeah, they normally you've seen superconductors like make things hover and spin in space.
Yeah.
But they're super cooled, right? You see all this outgassing from some super colds on carbon dioxide.
To make
or
sure it
something.
works, they've got to keep it at it. Because it gets too hot. Yeah.
So anyways, the implications are huge, and there's just a lot of people on my TikTok scroll freaking out about it. And
Nice.
I thought it was interesting.
I like that. And by the way, it is the same picture of the Cybertruck.
It is okay. So and what it means is, and if it's real, and somebody pointed this out on TikTok, is hope for the future, right? Because right now it's still like, yeah, electric cars, but are they really that great? I mean, really, people say they are, and there's you start losing the carbon and the BS around 180,000 miles, and nobody's there yet, and I don't know.
What happens when my battery cells flop?
Yeah,
and I'm $200,000 in the hole now because I need new batteries or however. I don't know how. I made that.
I had to pay $100,000 to dispose of one battery and $100,000 to buy a new one. Yeah. So no, it's not. I don't think it's going to be like that. But superconductors are interesting, and so I don't know. We'll see. It was certainly. It certainly. Somebody just pointed out that it gives cause for hope for a lot of these. For some of these technologies. Yeah.
I get tired of the world's cynicism, and I get cynical sometimes.
Yeah, it's not tough.
Like, this isn't going to help us out, or this isn't any good, or people parking in the charging stations with gas vehicles to try. It's so dumb to me.
Yeah.
Like, why? What's so?
Yeah.
The world sometimes.
Yeah. It's just kind of silly. So, but I like to be hopeful. I like to think positive. So.
When you first brought up PK or whatever it was.
LK99?
LK99. Yeah. You know what my first thought was?
What?
There's another grizzly bear with a different name.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have,
I should
have stayed on topic. I was on dude topic, but really not elk season topic.
No, it's all right. But it's okay because I thought that was funny that's the first, this clearly in this space, my brain goes to conservation, animals.
That's
I'm
fair.
like, LK99, and he's not talking about a bear.
Yeah.
Wait, where'd he go? And then so my confusion was kind of in that, but then I was like, so trying to process it, but I got up to speed. I'm there now.
Yes.
I'm good. So
when you hear about it, you can be like, oh yeah, I've heard of that.
yeah. I like to hear about those things.
Right.
So surprising that I haven't come across it actually, because I tend to come across a lot. Because recently they were able to, create a fusion process where they got more energy out of the process.
Yes.
So that's interesting. It's still a ways off.
Yes.
But
yes, I did. Yeah, I did hear about that too. That's fascinating. So, okay.
Should we just start?
Let's go through some headlines. We got a lot of bear stuff.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about elk season. Part of me wants to publish the GPS location of the trail cams in the Sawtooth Zone.
It's up to you, man. I don't hunt there.
I know you don't hunt there, but somebody does.
Yeah.
And the idea isn't or wouldn't be that you should hunt there. The idea is that you can find elk, where elk are going to be on Google Earth.
Yeah.
Right. That was sort of the beta test. This idea. So anyways, I was thinking about that. Should I publish the GPS location of those cameras? And if you want to go there, go right ahead.
It's yeah. I got a hernia from that. No, actually, here's where I blame my hernia on.
Yeah?
Because we placed the cameras in our actual hunting area.
Yeah.
We're hiking out, and that's when I felt it.
Oh.
But during that hike, so I don't blame the hike, surprising enough. During that hike, and you know this about me, I use trekking poles.
Yeah.
I'm old enough to get an AARP card.
Yeah.
So I use trekking poles.
Actually, there's no age limit. I think it'd be 18.
I know. I was just kidding.
Anyway.
That was on a recent commercial. Yeah. Thank you. I knew this. So anyway, so as we got started into our hike, my son Bram says, Dad, I could really use a hiking stick.
Okay.
So I gave him one. So I didn't have one for each hand, which what I love about my trekking poles is that I can take the clomp off my stomping coming down hills.
Yeah. Yeah.
By bracing myself with those.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do that with both sides. And I always used the pole in my strong arm, which is my left side. So I'm clomping down hard on my right side. So I hypothesize that it was due to me having to share a trekking pole with my son. Why? Because he didn't remember his own. Because I'm his dad and I should have reminded him to grab some because we have lots. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, we can always grab sticks. I know you can't palm a stick though.
Yeah, well, I'm not worried about
on the downhill side.
Yeah.
My strategy for downhill is soft knees. Because I don't want to go downhill stiff-legged.
Yeah.
I want to make sure and bend my knees and let my muscles do the work. It sucks when I get tired. I know.
But that's where trekking poles help so much.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion.
Yeah, right. They can absorb more of that cushion that your knees are taking. Yeah.
A woman in Northern has been found. Is that an accident or is it the socks below that?
You know what? I took the socks. It's the socks.
Oh, okay.
I need good socks. Yeah, I need good socks. I notice you're wearing hunting socks right now. It looks like you're wearing hunting socks. Puma? No, they're not. They're just Pumas.
These are the socks I wear hunting.
Oh, are they? Okay.
And
I thought so.
The ever since I found the boots that I've been wearing, I haven't needed to double up. I haven't needed any specialty sock. I've just worn these. The toes get beat up on steep climbs if I'm not if I've got too long a toenail. Really is the problem there.
Right.
Or but with these, this is the most comfortable socks that I've had hiking and the most comfortable boots I've ever had. And so my system is simple. On a hot day, I don't have to wear 2 pairs of socks.
Yeah.
And they dry out quicker when I take my boots off.
Yeah, so. there's a lot of really good technology out there. Last year when I made a whole bunch of videos for my TikTok the day I packed my elk out. And when I sat on the back of my Volkswagen and I peeled my 2 layers of wool socks that I always wear. Now, I always update my socks. Every year, I just buy a new pair of socks and I add it to the rotation. I'm like, these are my new pair, and I wear last year's pair on the outside, right? And so I always have these new pairs that I'm cycling through and trying these socks.
Old pair,
and because I'm wary of the sales pitches of, oh, my feet are so dry, and come on, how these are socks. So when I made this video and I peel my socks off, and it looks like my feet have been doing the dishes for about 9 hours.
Yeah, totally know it.
Right? And a lot of people commented what kind of socks I should have got.
Really?
So I'm going to order some of those socks.
Okay.
Whatever they are. I'll let you know. I'll go down. I'll go home and put them in my basket and see, and just to give a good review, just to see what they are. Every year I buy some socks. I'm gonna buy some.
And just like anything else you get when you do stuff, get what works for you.
Yeah.
I
get and do what works for you.
I think what I have was just dumb luck. I always kind of stumble into those things, and I was just very grateful that I don't have to consider something else at the moment. But it's good to know that there's those other options, and should I fall into the need of having. The need for I'm being redundant.
there's like alpaca fur, like woven alpaca fur or something that's supposed to I don't know. So that'll be interesting.
I'll be curious to see what you learn there. Idaho Transportation Department on I-84. What's that about? South Jerome.
Oh, that was for another project. Next,
sorry. Aldine, was that?
Nah, well, I don't know.
I'm looking for the odd things to just make sure we rule them out quickly, right? So that's the Rivian. We don't need to talk about. We got that out of the way.
We did.
What is that? So this is kind of an interesting picture. I'm stopped on it. It's of the mountains. 48 years ago today, 530 feet and 17 operations. Oh, that's Junior, isn't it?
That's Hank Williams Jr.'s fall. That's where he lost his eye and almost lost his life.
So I recently have been. So it's 3-chord song.
That guy's still ticking, man.
Yeah,
still.
He's got a 3-chord song. So I was learning Country Boy.
Yeah,
it's a great song.
Yeah,
but I was like, I have to drop detune that, which isn't a problem. I can play that song. But I go, he's got another one that's just as fun.
Yeah.
And he mentions this in the song. Can you name the song? where he leans into this accident. He mentions it.
No. How do I not know that?
I thought now.
Okay. Yeah.
If I'm wrong, because you would be my resident expert here. You
Yeah.
also are a DJ on a country station. I don't know if that qualifies you or not.
I got old school cred,
But
I don't know about some of these new guys.
And so this might be. I'm kind of embarrassed now because this might be an opportunity to redirect my data points.
Yeah.
But I always took the words, I have loved some ladies and I have loved Jim Beam, and they both tried to kill me in 1973. I thought that was a reference to him falling off the mountain.
Oh. Was that 48 years ago? Well, no, that was 50 years ago. 1948 was right. Was
Yeah, I don't know.
73 was 50 years ago.
Okay, so maybe not.
Well, maybe they both tried to kill him in 1973. Alcohol and women.
Yeah,
Okay.
So maybe
I would not connect those two.
All right.
Okay.
Well, okay, I'll back off that one. I got all excited because I was playing it. It's a pretty fun song.
It is. And I'll tell you this. Why does Hank Williams Jr. relate to Elk Season? Well, first of all, we are Elk Season.
Yeah.
Second of all, I remember where I was the first time I heard Family Tradition.
Okay.
And I was elk hunting with Travis Mergenthaler
Okay.
on a road in York. You were with me one time when we went with him. So I was with him. One time when you weren't with us and we were listening. Maybe you were with us when we were listening to Hank Williams Jr.
I was in the back of the Brat, maybe.
No. He had an old Sierra, an '88 Sierra pickup.
Yeah.
You know those single cab, short bed, GMC Chevy pickup, like a quarter ton.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, beautiful truck. Anyway,
Yeah, just memory is.
Anyways,
weak
it
for me.
was such a great memory, and to think about going into the woods in the fall and having Hank Williams Jr. sing, it was so good. It was so good. So,
You know, and I've got a lot of strong memories. In fact, when we saw Hank in 15, we were driving to the show, and I'm just like, I hope he plays this song.
Oh, geez.
And I won't go into how great of a musician he is, but how not fun of a show it was.
Yeah.
But like Montana Cafe.
Yeah.
And you showed me the cafe that it's about.
Yeah.
Because we drove by it on 93.
Yeah, in Hamilton.
Ajax Mountain. Isn't that what that picture was?
Ajax Mountain is just south of where we camped so many times.
And in Wisdom, the local
outside
store.
Of Wisdom, it's the Big Hole Valley. So that mountain is in the Big Hole Valley.
Yeah. And so in the store, and so my earliest memories of the music, but the first time like seeing a connection of a guy that is a big star, but he's still very local, was the picture of him with the bear in the Wisdom market.
Conovers.
Yeah,
it was called Conovers.
Yeah.
And Conovers, they in Wisdom, there's a place called Conovers. And in there, they had a picture of Hank Williams Jr., I think with a bear.
Yeah.
It was him and his son or his wife and a bear that he'd killed.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was somebody who worked for the store, though.
Maybe it was.
But anyway, it's just always cool. I always liked going there to see that growing up because we'd go to Wisdom.
Yeah, that's a fun data point. Yeah.
We have lots of bears, and I brought some bears to the table today too. But I don't know if you heard about this, but this story, an older couple working, cutting some grass on some acreage or whatever they have, and the lady has a snake fall on her.
I saw that. Yeah, and she died like 2 days later, right?
No, she didn't die.
Oh,
no,
what happened?
So
Are the rumors that she died?
She's on her tractor.
Oh no, that's not the video I saw.
She's on her tractor and she's mowing the grass, and the snake falls on her and wraps around her and starts snapping
that's right.
at her.
Yeah.
And then she's like trying to figure out what to do with the snake, and she can't get it off. And all of a sudden, a hawk shows up and starts going after the snake.
Yeah, and the snake strike broke her glasses.
Yeah,
and did not poison her.
Yeah,
because she had a hold of it.
Yeah.
And she had a hold of it about a foot back, and when it would strike,
the craziest story I've heard in a while.
Yeah,
it's just like,
and did that snake was dropped by a hawk?
Yeah,
and it's like, hey, where'd my lunch go?
Yeah,
hey,
and what was interesting, I never thought much about it because in the article she's like, yeah, I've seen this happen dozens of times where a snake will be caught by a hawk, but they'll drop it on the barbed wire fences for some reason.
Yeah. Oh wow, I wonder.
I don't know what that's about, but anyway,
interesting.
She's not a barbed wire fence, but she was afraid of becoming I'm 66 years old. I'm about to die at the weirdest way possible.
Yeah.
Hey, we noticed these in Montana when we would camp, little packets stapled on trees. to help confuse the bark beetles. And Idaho has apparently been launching some of that.
Oh, really?
As well.
Really?
So if you see pouches stapled on forest trees, they're designed to trick tree murderers, which are the bark beetles.
Yeah, yeah.
So a little pheromone pouch that tells the searching beetle to say, "Oh, there's already somebody here, so don't go here."
Oh, okay.
So that's the way Jane explained it to me when we were the last time we
Keep
camped
knocking,
in
but you
Wisdom.
can't come in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Cool. Yeah, that kind of stuff is really cool.
let's see. I just want to make sure I've gotten everything else. I don't. Oh, it's a bear story.
So here's another thing. Here's another thing I learned about bears. If there's a berry patch, you grow berries. You got berries out here.
Got raspberry.
Yeah, and they're doing good.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
There was 5 plants in that barrel last year.
Yeah.
And you looked at it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
You can't tell.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And it's right now it's really yummy because they're coming in. And
good.
I pretend to be a bear when I go out there.
Yes.
I chase off the kids if they show up.
Yes. And if you only went there once a week, you'd fill up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what bears do.
Okay.
They know where patches of berries are. They go in, they clean them out. They know in a week it's going to fill up again.
Yeah.
And so they frequent these patches. Some different bears will frequent the same berry patches. So finding berry patches, even though you go, well, there's not very many berries right now. Well, that's because a bear came through. Because there's a lot of good strawberries up where we hunt. A lot of good wild strawberries.
Yeah.
And these guys, I told you these guys, Gritty, Brian Call, they put up this thing about, hey, these are what mountain blueberries look like. These are what the bears are after. So I have a better look of what mountain huckleberries look like.
Yeah.
So so good berries are a good berry year is a good bear year.
Yeah. So before we go full bore, see what I did there? This is a cool picture. Like the 2 buffalo sticking their heads in a truck.
Now, the first thing I need to say is that's not an S10.
No, it isn't.
That's a Yukon.
Yeah. Those are big buffalo.
And that distinction needs to be noted. Because at first you go, oh, look at that. That's a little S10. That is a full-size Yukon, son.
Yeah, that's huge. So I noticed that a couple of our bear stories overlap.
Okay, good.
So I caught the story, and I bet you got better information than I did. I think I grabbed the headline mostly. Fatal grizzly attack renews debate over how many bears are too many.
Yeah.
So what did you get from that?
That the debate's ongoing. And from the book that I read, The Grizzly in the Driveway, and he discusses a lot of ecology. Like he discussed a lot of what's going on in the Netherlands and in Alberta, and there's no increase in public safety and human safety with a hunting season. There's no study that shows that's effective. But you and I have said, if we condition the bears, right, to stay away from humans by shouting at them or shooting at them, then they'll stay away from humans, right?
Yeah.
So aren't those two? Don't those two ideas contradict each other?
Sometimes a little bit. Sorry.
If there's a hunting season, then we should condition bears to stay away from humans.
Yeah. But
there's no study that says hunting grizzly bears has any improved safety measures for humans because encounters are so exceedingly rare.
But if you have a hunting season, I think that's where you're going.
Sorry,
I got a little distracted. I was making sure that didn't turn off. Or something.
That's okay. No, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
These ideas from the same book seem to contradict.
Yeah.
So
and maybe that was the intent of the author.
Yeah. And a good author can do that. A good author can do that very well. So I did find that interesting, and I do think we have a new data set, and that data set is the population barrier. We have a lot more people. Denmark and Sweden don't have the population that the West does. Canada, so if we look into Canada, their population, the highest population is at the border, and gets less and less and less. And we did this before, right? And the population of the United States, it starts at the least amount and gets more and more. I
was watching a guy do a video, and he was just saying it's like all the population is this band right along the border. It's like 99% of the population of Canada is along the United States border.
Yeah,
it's just ridiculous.
And the people out west, the culture out west is let us hunt bears.
Yeah.
And so I see that happening.
Well-
I see the senator saying, yeah, we need to do this. So for the time being,
So the fatal grizzly attack news,
Yeah.
right? So you have the gal who was killed in Yellowstone,
yeah, just this year,
and there was another attack just recently.
Okay,
I don't know if you heard of this one.
I don't know.
So there was a surveyor
Okay,
working in the northeastern part of the Yellowstone area, maybe
Okay.
even just outside of it,
okay.
and was attacked just the last couple of weeks.
Ooh, okay,
He hiked out, though. He survived.
okay.
And I thought this was interesting because it goes back to an old adage that I thought was debunked, but maybe not. And I think we've actually talked about this. If you are getting attacked by a grizzly bear, what should you do?
Play dead.
And that's effectively what he did.
Play dead. They want to eliminate you as a threat. They just want to wait and eat you later.
He covered his neck and head
Yeah,
and
Play
just
dead.
didn't move.
yeah.
And the
Don't
bear,
fight back. Yeah.
he got scratched up pretty good, but the bear left.
If a black bear attacks you, the opposite.
Yeah.
Fight. Let that bear know you might injure it, and it'll run away.
Yeah.
It might run away.
So Leonardo DiCaprio's
Yeah.
problem in The Revenant was
Yeah.
that he fought back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, this guy was he said that he didn't have enough time to get his bear spray. So it would happen so fast.
Yeah.
All he could do
Yeah.
is cover up.
Yeah.
And
So I have a quick analogy for you, and this I just thought about today. Because we went salmon fishing, right? And we understood.
well, you did. You did. I think I was just tossing
No.
stuff in and losing lines.
I
and-
was just tossing stuff in too, but we understand that the salmon aren't there to eat; they're there to reproduce.
Yeah.
Right? We just have to do something to trigger something inside of them
To
that
make
says,
them react.
Eat that.
Yep.
Eat that. It's just what they're meant to do.
Yeah.
And when we ride a bicycle around bears,
Yep.
has the same effect a fishing lure does.
Yeah.
It's just it's crazy. So, and I've been thinking about this a
Yeah.
lot because I really love bicycles.
And the last time I went camping, my two youngest boys
Yeah.
brought their bikes, and the whole time we're up there, I'm just like, I think we're okay, but dang it, it makes me think differently.
Yeah. So horns. We need electronic push button horns on bicycles in the woods. Extremely loud, proven
Yeah.
effective on grizzly bears.
Okay.
Right? That's my solution. I think we kind of talked about it
Yeah.
last week, but I'm like, yeah, I think that could work. Because there's this cool video of these guys on single track and motorcycles
Yeah.
going through, and a grizzly bear comes up on him. And
Wow.
he falls off his bike, but he stays on the throttle, and his buddy behind him stays on the throttle. And that bear that is
Gone.
gone. Yeah. And it's a big
So-
grizz.
So, yeah, interesting. So,
Yeah.
if you get rid of the movement, but you keep the noise.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. If you stop your bike, you got to get the pepper spray anyway.
Yeah.
But you're not going to try to outrun it. Do not.
No.
That's what they want.
Yeah.
That's the lure effect.
So, I imagine this had to do with your mountain berries conversation.
Yes, is that Brian Call Gritty?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, what a great episode. Are those the berries?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So,
What a great episode. I mean, it's just so well produced, and the video is astonishing. It is just beautiful to behold. Every bit of it. It's just amazing. Well shot, well produced.
how awesome would it be to come across this?
Yeah.
But also kind of how unnerving it would be to see big
Yeah.
old grizzly bear paws in the mud where you're
Yeah.
fishing.
Yeah.
Where you're both fishing, probably.
Yeah.
But who's fishing for who?
I know, and I want to be on the lookout for bear tracks this fall. We see bear scat all the time up there.
So where you got your elk, I was actually going to talk about this. Where
Yeah.
you got your elk last year, that valley, the first time I went in there with you, we
Yeah.
hiked out the bottom end of that
Yeah.
middle valley.
Yeah.
And I was getting cold. I was so
thick.
tired.
Sweaty.
Had not eaten enough food.
Oh, it was beautiful.
But I remember that we came across some berry patches and we kept seeing bear scat, or at least
Yeah.
I kept seeing bear scat in those berry patches when we were
Really?
down along the river
Really?
bottom. But then when we got up and started
Yeah.
heading back to the trail,
yeah.
it was
That's what makes hunting bears a little more difficult. Is they want those berries, and those berries are in places where there's water. Guess what else likes water? Trees.
yeah, yeah. But I absolutely loved being up there in September because there's a lot of raspberries up there.
Yeah.
So those
Yeah.
high mountain raspberries, if you can,
Yeah.
first-
Raspberries, strawberries, huckleberries, and blueberries.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if we have many blueberries in Idaho.
Well, you can grow them. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know if they're indigenous.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I tried growing some blueberries here, but my dog was a puppy at the time, and she ate the plant. If you look at my garden, it's all fenced.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Seriously, if you go look at the onions out there, any onion that poked its little leaves through the fence, they're chewed off.
Oh,
she loves onions. She loves lettuce. You'd think she's a freaking vegetarian.
Yeah.
She's a dog.
So we're omnivores.
Yeah,
but am I a predator? Is a bear a predator? Right? It's an interesting idea, right?
Yeah.
And the answer is yes. If a black bear or grizzly bear will attack a bike,
sure,
that's a predator move.
Yeah.
That's something that triggers it. But they are opportunists. It's all
right. You can leave the R out. It's all right.
And but if an opportunity is just a dead thing lying there, hey, all the better. But if an opportunity is a soon-to-be dead thing, okay, I can make that work.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I've been wrestling with that thought. Thanks for letting me work that out.
You're good. It's all here on the Elk Season Podcast.
That's right.
Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks official.
Yeah.
That's the actual Montana
in
Fish,
Montana,
Wildlife, and
you
Parks.
mean?
Yes.
The one in Montana?
Grizzly bears outside of Missoula.
Yeah.
So that's not surprising to me because the proximity to Flathead and all that.
But is it in the Bitterroot, did it say?
Just says seen around Missoula.
Okay.
And different drainages.
Okay.
So, coincidentally, I saw. I keep seeing these. I don't know what's going on with Montana ranches going up for sale.
Yeah.
Because they've been showing up in my feed. In fact, I'm pretty sure one of the ranches from near Wisdom showed up in my feed. Isn't it called the Arrowhead Ranch or something? Or the Arrow? Anyway, the angles and the gulches, and I was like, oh my gosh, and the elk. Yeah. It's like, that's got to be it.
Yeah. Can we just buy it and give it to the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation? Or just give it to public land?
Can I just buy it and live there? Yeah. And then give it when I'm done?
Because there's a lot of this beautiful, beautiful grassland that is private and grazed.
Yeah.
And,
So there was another place just literally like 20 miles from Glacier National Park that had like 600 acres or something. They showed up in my feed, and I was wondering about that. I go, if I were to go and move somewhere like that, would I want to be there?
And that private land does make it difficult to access some of the public land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of it does butt up against public land too.
Yeah.
Black bear shot and killed Montana man is living room. Sorry. I was reading that way too fast and I was skipping over words somehow.
You know what? Take your time.
Thank you for letting me work that out.
That's what the Elk Season Podcast is for.
That's what we're here for.
Okay.
Black bear shot and killed by a Montana man in his living room after break-in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good story. That's a good story. Right? We talk about, grizzly bears sitting around talking about the best ways to break into a Subaru.
Yeah.
But when you and I were listening to the book together, we listened to a part where they're talking about how bear in the fall needs 20,000 calories a day.
Yeah.
Okay. I can find 20,000 calories a day easy. Eating that much is hard. Try to find that much as a natural resource. Dude, that's a high bar. And so the highest energy is what they're looking for. And garbage and Subarus and houses are what they're into. That's the biggest payout.
Yeah. And in fact, speaking of which, Hank the Tank in Tahoe, we've talked about him before.
Yes, we have.
21 home invasions.
Yeah. Yeah, he's so fat. But that's where the calories are.
So fat.
Why'd you rob the bank? Well, that's where the money is.
Yeah.
Why'd you rob the houses, baby? That's where the calories are. That's where the carbs are. Easy carbs.
Yeah. So those are the headlines we have.
Yeah.
But and
was that all of them?
That's it.
Okay.
We had a couple that overlapped, which was cool.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen too often, but it's kind of fun when it does. It tells us we're on a similar wavelength.
Yeah. Well,
or scroll thread.
Yeah. The elk season is just a few weeks out. I have such a busy schedule this fall. I'm driving to Montana tomorrow.
Yeah.
Next weekend, I'm driving back to the Burnt River to really put some muscle into some prospecting. The weekend after that, I have a CrossFit competition.
Wow.
The weekend after that is opening day of elk season, is opening weekend, I guess. And then I got 3 more weekends of elk season.
Huh.
So
I got jury duty.
oh,
I've got to schedule a surgery.
jury duty. Okay.
I don't know when that's going to happen.
You got football. You got
I've
football
got
games.
football games on Tuesdays.
Oh, that's right.
I got
Tuesdays.
lucky
Okay, yeah.
this year.
Yeah. When he gets to high school, junior high.
I'll be mapping my hunt around the hope that the bye week is in September.
Yeah. on the bye week, you're out of town. You don't even get to come up on Sunday and have a beer with me.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's how that works. That's September. Somebody asked me to announce some football games.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah. If it wasn't in September,
Oh,
that'd be
man.
great. I would love to, but I work. My wife spent 9 days out of town. 9 days in a row.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot with 2 special needs kids.
Yes.
In the house, and I'm like, So I'm like, this is what I'm working for. I'm working for elk season, man. When elk season comes, I can't. I don't want to feel guilty when I leave the house for weekends. And I spent more days sleeping outside than inside last year. And that is man, if I could repeat that for the next 15, 20 years, that could make for some really good memories.
Yes, sir.
So anyways, I guess we can wrap it up. We're getting closer and closer to elk season. I do have a method. I'm purchasing some Tasco. Are you familiar with that brand?
Yeah.
Tasco microphones.
Oh, yeah.
So, and maybe another GoPro so we can do and film the Elk Season podcast as we drive.
Okay.
If that's ever a thing this year, I don't know. But I'm doing it for some other projects that I'm working on. So, we should have the capability to do that and to maybe, hopefully, mic up some other elk hunters.
Yeah.
And go and visit with them because I really like the stories from other elk hunters. And I would love to include them on the Elk Season podcast. So
nice.
Anyway, so that's all upcoming this year, and elk season is
right
coming up, man.
Around the calendar corner.
Start buying your food, make your list. Just get ready.
Yeah.
Just get ready. We can almost see the weather forecast for that weekend, and it looks like it's going to be warm.
Yeah. And I'm gonna have to figure out how to pack light.
Yeah.
And God, having a hernia sucks.
Hey man.
You know what has been stuck in my head since I've worried about a hernia?
What?
Think about it. There's one song.
Well, Weird Al.
Yeah. Causing me such aggravation. Wow. I feel bad.
I'm sure. I have a really good friend. The guy I used to work for when we bred watermelons.
Oh yeah.
Was he says he got on his rower one day and just for a workout. He says something just popped out. He goes, I haven't worked out since. I mean, he's been to the doctor. He had surgery, but he goes, I haven't been back since. So I know it's dangerous. The check in the engine light's coming on. Here's a song project for you.
Okay.
Real quick. I've
got like 7 or 8 projects.
All right. Life is a week. Life is a week. You get a dozen years a day, right? You're sitting on Friday night. I'm sitting on Saturday morning. But when the week's over, baby, that's it. Life is a week. Anyway, it's a concept I'm just tossing out.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess that's. Thanks for letting me say that. Now I can forget about it. There's room in my brain for something else.
It's all here on the Elk Season Podcast.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Cheers. Goodbye.